going to report Lesson 7, Managing Risk. Topic 1, Risk Management Process. Every project manager understands risks are inherent in projects. No amount of planning can overcome risk, or the inability to control chance events in the context of projects. Risk is an uncertain event or condition that, if it occurs, has a positive or negative effect on project objectives. A risk has a cause and, if it occurs, a consequence. The cause impact of a risk event in the project is less if the event occurs earlier rather than later. Risk management is a proactive approach rather than reactive. It is a preventive process designed to ensure that surprises are reduced and that negative consequences associated with undesirable events are minimized. Here are the risk management process. Step 1. Risk identification. Analyze the project to identify source of risk. Step 2. Risk assessment. Assess risk in terms of severity of impact, likelihood or occurring, controllability. Step 3. Risk response development. Develop a strategy to reduce possible damage. Develop contingency plans. Step 4. Risk response control. Implement risk strategy. Monitor and adjust plan for new risk. Change management. Topic 2. Step 1. Risk identification. The risk management process begins by trying to generate a list of all the possible risks that could affect the project. Typically, the project manager pulls together, during the planning phase, a risk management team consisting of core team members and other relevant stakeholders. Organizations use risk breakdown structures, or RBSS, in conjunction with work breakdown structures, or WBSS, to help management teams identify and eventually analyze risk. After the macro risks have been identified, specific areas can be checked. An effective tool for identifying specific risks is the work breakdown structure. One of the keys to success in risk identification is attitude. While a can-do attitude is essential during implementation, project managers have to encourage critical thinking when it comes to risk identification. The goal is to find potential problems before they happen. Topic 3. Risk, risk assessment. Scenario analysis is the easiest and most commonly used technique for analyzing risk. Team members assess the significance of each risk event in terms of probability of the event and the impact of the event. Simply stated, risks need to be evaluated in terms of the likelihood the event is going to occur and the impact or consequences of its occurrence. The risk of a project manager being struck by lightning at a work site would have major negative impact on the project, but the likelihood is so low it is not worthy of consideration. Conversely, people do change jobs. So an event like the loss of key project personnel would have not only an adverse impact, but also a high likelihood of occurring in some organizations. If so, then it would be wise for that organization to be proactive and mitigate this risk by developing incentive schemes for retaining specialists and or engaging in course training to reduce the impact of turnover.
Topic 4. Step 3. Risk Response Development. When a risk event is identified and assessed, a decision must be made concerning which response is appropriate for a specific event. Responses to risk can be classified as mitigating, avoiding, transferring, sharing, or retaining. Mitigating risk. Reducing risk is usually the first alternative considered. There are basically two strategies for mitigating risk. First is reduce the likelihood that the event will occur, and second, reduce the impact that the adverse event would have on the project. Most risk teams focus first in reducing the likelihood of risk event since if successful, they will eliminate the need to consider the potentially costly second strategy. Number two, avoiding risk. Risk avoidance is changing your project plan to eliminate the risk or condition. Although it is impossible to eliminate all risk events, some specific risks may be avoided before you launch the project. Number three, transferring risk. Passing risk to another party is common. This transfer does not change risk. Passing risk to other party almost always results in paying a premium for this exemption. Number 4. Retaining risk. In some cases, a conscious decision is made to accept the risk of an event occurring. Some risks are so large it is not feasible to consider transferring or reducing the event. Example, an earthquake or flood. Topic 5. Contingency planning. A contingency plan is an alternative plan that will be used if a possible foreseen risk event becomes a reality. The contingency plan represents action that will reduce or mitigate the negative impact of the risk event. Most common method for handling risk. First, technical risk. Technical risks are problematic. They can often be the kind that cause the project to be shut down. What if the system or project does not work? Contingency or backup plans are made for those possibilities that are foreseen. 2. Schedule risk. Often organizations will defer the treat of a project coming in late until it surfaces. Her contingency funds are set aside to expedite or crash the project to get it back on track. Crashing or reducing project duration is accomplished by shortening one or more activities on the critical path. This comes with additional cost and risk. 3. Cost risk. Cost risk. Project risk. Cost risk. Projects of long duration need some contingency for price changes, which are usually offered. The important point to remember when reviewing price is to avoid the trap of using one lump sum to cover price risk. 4. Funding risk. What if the funding for the project is cut by 25% or completion? Projections indicate that costs will greatly exceed available funds. What are the chances of the project being cancelled before the completion? Seasoned project managers recognize that a complete risk assessment must include an evaluation of funding supply. Severe budget cuts or lack of adequate funding can have a devastating effect on a project. Typically, with such a fatal course, there is a need to scale back the scope of the project to what is possible. All or nothing projects are a target to budget cutters.
Topic 6. Opportunity Management. Opportunity is an event that can have a positive impact on project objectives. Opportunities are identified assets in terms of like likelihood and impact responses are determined and even contingency plans and fund can be established to take advantage of the opportunity if it occurs. For different type of response to an opportunity. Number one, ex- ex- exploit this tactic seek to element the uncertainty associated with a opportunity to ensure that it identify that it definitely happened. Share this number two. Share this started strategy and Bob's allocating allocating some or all the ownership of an opportunity to another party who is best able to capture the opportunity for the benefits of the project. Number three, enhance. Enhance is the positive of, of mitigation in that action is taken to increase the probability and or positive impact on an opportunity. Number four, accepting an opportunity is being will be take advantage of it if it occurs but not taking action to propose it. Topic 7, Step 4. Rex response control. Typically, the result of the first three steps of the risk management processes are summarized in a formal document often called that risk register. A risk register details or identify risks including description, category, and probability occurring impact responses, contingency plan owners, and current status. The register is the backbone for the last step in the risk management processes risk control. The bottom line that manager and team member need to be vigilant in monitoring potential risks and identify new landmines that could derail a project risk assessment has been part, part of the working agenda of a status meeting. And when new risks emerge, they need to be analyzed and incorporated into the risk management processes. Topic 8. Change control management. The three categories. Number 1, scopes change in the form of design or additional respect big change. For example, customer request for a new feature or design that will be improve the product. Number 2, implementation of contingency plans when risks event or correspond change in baseline costs and schedules. Improved change suggested by project team member represent another category. In practice, most change management systems are designed to accomplish the following: identify process change, let's express effect of process change or on schedule and budget, review, evaluate, and approve or disapprove change, formally negotiate and resolve complex of change, condition, and cause, communicate change to, to parties affected, assign, assign responsibility from immediating change, adjust master schedule and budget, track all changes that are to be implemented,